people who were brought to this country were stripped of their names, language, culture, religion, God, and taken totally away from the history of themselves. Here are 30 million people who don't wear their own names, they wear your names. Who don't speak their own language, they speak English, which is not their language. They never were allowed their own cultural expression of Africa. Don't you realize that when you turn a people upside down and inside out, then sell them not for a day, not for a year, but for 300 years, and deny us the human right to know, to read a book, to learn, to understand, and then after 300 years of that, you allow us into the church, but by that time, you've painted Jesus white, God white, the angels white, and then all these black people have been subjected to a form of white supremacy, which produces in the reverse a black inferiority. And this is fulfilling what Jesus said, as a man thinks, so is he. And as long as our people think the way they think, we will never be able to do what we as a people should do to correct our condition.
Several people in the audience have said the things that he's saying, but you really haven't been specific. What is he saying that you have a problem with, a problem with, a problem with, a problem with?
In understanding what he's saying there, you have to take his words and dissect them and break them down in understanding that white supremacy in the reverse produces a black inferiority. People, that's a game changer in any clinical aspect. Big difference between preaching and teaching, and Farrakhan teaches here. And the type of things that you don't get in history books, people, it's something that opened my eyes. I wasn't a Louis Farrakhan fan until actually I heard that soundbite. And then when I went to research the clip, I had to take my hat off to Phil Donahue, working with such a hostile crowd. And it was the whites that were more hostile than the blacks, as if blacks didn't have anything to be hostile about, right? Back then, white people wanted the head of Louis Farrakhan. They wanted him dead because he was a mouthpiece. And in his hip pocket, nothing but the truth, which you can't refute. Farrakhan's label is Minister Louis Farrakhan. And minister means teacher, and that's exactly what he does here, is that he teaches black people the annals of their history. A history that was drastically and savagely altered when they were snatched by the whites and taken on ships and brought back to the United States, where they would become slaves. This is NRA News Socials Anonymous.